Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I just got a little fumigated from diesel fuel. Yeah, if Doug parks his truck by the house and lets it run. It depends on what way the wind is blowing, but it's just one of my allergies that is severe, um, to the point of when I moved out of around Minneapolis area and went north, I never wanted to go back in that city because of the fumes that would like linger in there, especially from the buses and the trucks delivering stuff and all that. Oh, it's hideous. Oh, real bad. Poison. But anyway, so I had to wait to open my windows. I started smelling it, shut them, and it's like 80 degrees here today. So, it's not that I wanted to shut my windows or anything, but I can feel my skin burning and my sinuses are whacked. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take an allergy pill. Pardon me a minute. Yeah, it's a good idea because I am feeling kind of sore and itchy now. So, mm, definitely lion, not sheep, you know. Anyway. And there's one on the back too. It's little just in case they didn't get you know, the front part. Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, so what's on my mind today is you know how I told you that if I pray and or just thinking to God in my heart, that message goes out and whatever I need is there for me. I don't have to do any rituals. So up comes the other day, you might have seen me sharing some of his stuff, is Dan McKellen. He is a Harvard scholar, biblical scholar, and that knows ancient languages, also like these satanic Greek speaking. And I am going to do one more class there. I'm not going to try and reach any of these people. I've unsubbed all but that one that's teaching the language, and I'm not so sure I'm going to go there again tomorrow. If it's the house of the ill repute, I'll remove myself quietly. Maybe. Maybe it won't be so quiet. I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to see what tomorrow brings, but yeah. But anyway, so I have somebody that can give like three interpretations and then show you in the scriptures what it really means and show the satanic ones if they want to broaden their horizons from their first stick up there that they can't get over. So whatever ails them, I hope they I hope they can overcome that. But I'm not going to be really nice about it because hey, if they want to use God's energy, take from the woman on this planet, and that is his energy, and you want to trash somebody with a good heart, you're going to deserve the worst that the energy that you oppose can give you. So anyway, true thing. So anyway, I'm going to share uh Dr. Dan's Are Affirming Churches Satanic? And then he talks about the truth about what Paul was saying in the scriptures opposed to what was written by other people and put it in there. So he's going to tell you what Paul actually said, and then he's going to give you a couple examples of how they insert their BS in on all that. That's why I'll call myself like a deacon at times or whatever, like a minister, because I don't need to say I'm the head of any church or pretend I'm a man. I have my own things that I do in this world that don't even pertain to what a man is doing, you know. And I don't need that position. I don't want it. I have my own, you know. And this scholar, he's not, he's a doctor, a biblical scientist of sorts, you know. When your science is language and religion, and you're not looking at it just from a couple of aspects. You know many different cultures that brought you to that point, many different languages that gives you mm, the underlying, uh it's not absolutely just coded in the scriptures that people can't understand it. Like Doug was talking to somebody and he said, well, he just can't really understand it. Well, that's because people are trying to take a lot of things literal when it's spiritual, like the man and woman being as one. And they say, well, like if you're what, 2/3 woman and 1/3 man, or if you're 2/3 man and 1/3 woman, will you just stop it? This is what mainstream science is telling you to think, how to think like that. It's bullshit, I'm telling you. You're going to find it out. The people are going to find it out. All the sciences have been twisted to twist you and I. And I excel in science. I know what I'm talking about. So you'll find out, you know. And yeah, mostly I call Satanists, they're narcissists. They're sadomasochists for a lot of times, and they're self-harming that they may not even realize. But one of the most things that I've noticed mostly in that culture is they're misogynistic. They hate women. It's not a joke. They say they pay reverence to the female spirit. No, they don't. They want to build a dark force female spirit on this planet to praise, which is never going to happen because it's God our Father's energy, and He's not going to give it to people to wield against other people like a tool or an image, you know. And images aren't praiseworthy, but these people even praise themselves and hail the lowest form of energy. What's that going to do to your vibe? You know, that's not good, good vibrations. Not as far as I can see. Well, like I say, and I even heard people, oh, I used to be a Christian and this is why I became satanic. Well, I was raised satanic and that's why I became a Christian. How about that one? So maybe I knew a little more right from the start, you know, or I just know that it is a war and it's more than a spiritual war. This shit gets physical. They use tools and tricks, and there's nobody that has God in their heart that isn't afflicted right now by close people around them that are intentionally doing shit to harm them. You know, It's like Doug told somebody yesterday, and he looked a little happy about it, but he's like, That's because you're one of the 144,000. Well, I can tell that without meeting somebody, and I can also tell you if you have like close family members around you to be that thorn in your side, or the crown of thorns around your head, you know, where a crown should be and it's bleeding because of the shit they put us through. So, yeah, and it's true. And do these people actually love you? Do they love themselves? Do they really love other people? What's really going on? Does love hurt? Um, do normal people agitate others for the mere pleasure of it? Or, all these questions, and the answer is no. That's not real love. That's not what it is. That's not how people act. Now, you can be forced into a reaction or self defense, and that is entirely different, and that's just as repulsive, if not just, I don't know if I'd rather be messed with mentally or have somebody just come up and pound on me, you know? I think I'd rather have them pound on me so I could do something back. Yeah, this mental game, that's all in good, and I always beat them in that. Eventually, I'll always find the words that will trump any of their bullshit because God gives me that. Um, it's an upper hand like that. So, yeah, should it get to being physical? It is with them. So, what do you do to stop something that's actually going to harm you physically? Oh, and here's one too. There's somebody that thinks that just because you stay in the same house with somebody that you're complaining about, that you don't have the right to stay in the home that you helped maintain and pay for and pay off and work upon with your equity. And no, there's other ways to approach a situation in this world. Absolutely, there is. Especially if you can speak how life is going for you and other people are going through that too. There's a lot of people, and it isn't copying out to keep what you fucking worked for and own, you know? It's not a sellout. And I'll die the day I make an excuse for any narcissist or any dark force entity type person. I'll be the first one to say how I feel, you know? I've gotten actually in trouble in my life many times because I say how I feel in that situation. So, no, there's other ways to go about it. And as much as I moved in my life and um, finding out that things weren't the fairy tale life that and family that I had always wanted, that I never would get. I mean, that is something that was used against me from the start that other people didn't experience, you know. And okay, here's another one. When you have children out in this world and you up and leave and you don't know where they are and they are not safe, you can't just. I used to have an 800 number so my kids could call me if they didn't have any money, that type of thing. But yeah, they could probably eventually maybe find me. I mean, there's all kinds of scenarios people can just spit out, well, why stay and why do that? Do you have your grandfather and mother's propagated irises in your yard that are 100 years old. Same with my lilacs and different things in your life that you have invested in. Have you ever invested to the tune of about $20,000 in time and gas and purchasing plants to grow things on your yard or work the land or landscaped or anything to work and build your place? Have you? And then you say what? Because you're having a conflict with an entity that was sent in your direction to deceive you that you're supposed to just up and go. It's always the woman. Yeah, if I don't leave my house, I'm a fucking in your eyes. No, young person, it doesn't work like that, you know? And I'm far from passive putting up with their shit. I was lied to. I flat out said, if you are not Christ like, there's going to be hell to pay. And it will, and there will be. So don't think that everybody that's complaining about a narcissist isn't doing something about it, because I sure scam. And here's another one. Have you ever taken the time to study psychology, or maybe you are into the medical field like physical medicine, like I actually worked in these fields that I'm speaking about? Did you ever take that time to care for other people so you could have an understanding of what's going on in their lives and yours? Or maybe you want to work to go buy purchase a license to be a minister in your state and study the scripture word for word and where those words came from and how they correlate and link with the codes and all that. That's why I don't recommend people studying gematria if you don't know languages. It could be very confusing, and a lot of lies can be told within that scenario. But yeah. So anyway, I think I'm gonna chill on that. Think I made my point. I could go on that situation, but no. And I'm only gonna say this once. This place is in my name now. So yeah, I hope that's clear. I gave up everything for the mission I'm on. So I'm not gonna give up the equity in my if women leave you, if you leave your place and it's in both your names, you can be fucked over. That's abandonment. If you don't have the paperwork just right in your life, you're stupid and you can be screwed over. I'm not stupid like that. So just just leave your assumptions for them little bitches that do enable these fucking monsters, because I am not one of them. So just so you know. So I'm the one that will tell that enabler and her husband, you're both fucking stupid and I can't stand your asses and I'll leave, you know. So that's how I deal with that situation. So just thought I'd tell you, because I didn't move up here for free. My time is very valuable. It's like yesterday, I mean, it looks like, oh, am I online all day? Yeah, I get on Facebook and check if my kids or grandkids need something, share a few memes, answer a few comments, open up my YouTube, see who's sharing good information while I'm having my coffee, get my teeth scrubbed, my exercises done, and the things that I need to do around here, I pace myself. You know, some people, if you had my ailments, you'd be on Social Security. You'd be disabled. So, like last night, I was hurt so bad. It was crazy. The cramps I had in my legs, it just, they were wicked because of different things I got going on inside me. It's not a joke, you know. But to push myself beyond, if you'd be laying in bed crying, you would not get up. I guarantee you. The things that I can push myself through. So just thought I'd let you know a little bit about that. So yeah, I do pace myself, but I get more done. Like if I get up and do something for an hour or even 10 minutes, I get more done, and I always have through my life, no matter where I've worked, get more done than anybody else does in that same amount of time, you know? That's the truth. That's a fact. It's like when I go to cook, because I've done it so much, I can do a lot of things that would take a lot of people much, much longer to do, you know, just from experience, you know. Like cutting an onion, I see these freaks and the way they do it and don't even wash it after it's peeled and their knife. Although it's washed after it comes out of the ground, it's still not absolutely clean, and it doesn't hurt to clean it one more time. But I get a kick out of how people have, it looks like emotional problems when they're cutting an onion. Yeah, maybe they're thinking of the layers of their personality, you know. I don't know. It's a kind of a dark joke there, if they have a personality. Maybe their personality is more like a clove of garlic, just one little peel around it, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, people do assume a lot of things. Like what? I don't have the right to speak on narcissism when I live with Satan. Yeah. And I wasn't lied to or tricked or deceived in any way. And I'm just supposed to walk and not fight. I'm not, it's not like, oh, I'm holding out hope for demon guy to turn into angel boy. It doesn't work like that. No, I'm not hoping for that. My hope was that I could instill enough goodness in the badness in the world, whether they recognize it or not, whether I was lied to or not, and still hold my head up with dignity because I am not the dirty fucking freak in this whole situation. But if you had worked around your land and your home to maintain and hold on to everything for a future for your whole family and a safe place like that, you wouldn't let it go either. So, I mean, I've talked about it. I've got 2 videos that if you could work out a contract for deed with Doug, that or maybe even rent for the place, that could be a possibility, and I would take my half and take a hike. Well, now that doesn't have to be the situation, you know. If I want to sell it, I would, but that's not going to happen, you know. It's more valuable to me. In fact, what it's assessed for wouldn't even bring the value of what it actually is, which is wonderful in our state and county, because we're one of the poorer counties in Minnesota. And yeah, our taxes are high enough, but it's not like if you go to like Wisconsin or something. Wow. Or even down into the cities, or there's different places where, yeah, just the taxes alone, people couldn't afford, let alone paying off a mortgage or whatever, you know. So So no, I'm not one of these enablers. Yeah, I don't enable shit. I don't allow shit around me. And if you do something funky, you're gonna pay for it. I'm not passive like that. Patience isn't passiveness, just for the record. There's a difference between the two. Like I say, if you're fucking stupid around me and I walk towards you, you better be scared. So that'll kind of squelch the stupidity coming out of anybody's mouth. They're very cautious. It has to be so slick, it can barely be proven it's there, but it can't be proven. Oh, yeah. I live around slick, you know, so that's okay. Like I say, it's not free. So don't give unless it really is an enabler. If you see, like, say if it's an abusive man in the household and you have some stupid woman either ignoring that or not intervening between that and her children, you have some major problems going on in that family that need to be addressed. Or the other way around, if you have a mother that's just some kind of obstinate thing or whatever, it needs to be put in its place. And if you have other siblings and children that are like the golden children, they can't do any wrong. They don't dare, or they're just as narcissistic, or they're codependent, like they can't live without that person. That's not my personality either. So I am not like that at all. In a bad situation, I'm the strong one, not the other way around. So just for the record, I wanted to make that absolutely clear. Hope you got it. There's more to it too. I think I might go on. Why the hell not? The subject was broached, so maybe not. I might have made my point clear enough. I'm not an enabler. So, oh, don't you dare, you know? Or maybe just because I had some painful moments last night, more than moments. The one that was like, whew, lasted for about an hour. The first one, it first started, it was about uh, 15 minutes, and then I was able to get back to sleep. I took some aspirin, but I wasn't able to walk to go get some water because of the pain. I just could not do it. I kept trying and it wasn't working. So then I sat there on the edge of my bed and stuck my thumb in the pain spot and just squeezed, and that seemed to alleviate some of the pain. And I got back to sleep for about a half hour, and the third time I couldn't even move. It hurt so bad, and it lasted for about an hour. And then I fell asleep, and here I am. So that's just a little brief history of what some of my allergies do to me. So, um, like, don't I work? Yeah, I work. I never really get done doing anything. It's never ending, but yeah. Like, I've got brush to clean up. I did some of that yesterday, and yeah. And also, I've done things a lot of women aren't capable of doing, and it gets old. and I get sore. In other words, give me a gain break. Don't ever say that again. If I'm resting, I need it. You know, I put on more miles just doing things around here than most people do. Period. So most, not everybody, but most of my jobs. What was it like? If you're working in a retirement home, the least amount of miles you put on in a day is about 8 miles. And then if you walk to work and walk back, you're putting on a lot of miles. There's many times in my life that I walked well over 20 miles a day. I think 25 might have been the tops. I don't know. I don't know. I had some really long walking days in my life, but many, many, many beyond description, you know. So it's like I rode my bike 63 miles to the city, but it was about 70 to my old neighborhood and back. That's 140 miles on a bike in one day when I was 15. Have you ever done anything like that? I'm just telling you about the strength within myself. So if I need a break, I'm telling you I need that. Have you ever done drywall? Have you ever held a sheet of drywall above your head and then went like this and held it and hammered above your head to get that with your head back like that, setting the nail, holding it all the time with your head and your arm? You ever done anything like that? Just wondering. You might have. I know I did. Or feeding animals, throwing bales, baling hay. You ever ran alongside a buck wagon with a bale of hay and threw it up there and then jumped up on the wagon and stacked it in tiers and then run back down and got some more hay bales? Anything like that? No? No? Oh, oh. I don't often. One of these days, I'm going to show you my glutamus maximus, and you're gonna see I'm not just built like you think I am, because every bit of me is so strong, it'd blow you away, you know. Of course, I mean, we get older and our skin gets a little saggier and whatever, but when you've worked hard all your life, the definition in your body isn't going to go away if you keep healthy. So you can tell, not skinny and bony, but actual form definition that will not go away as you age. You can tell who worked like from when they were a child, a little kid, when most kids were watching cartoons, and who didn't, you know. And yeah, you can tell the difference as people age. They're the ones that end up in wheelchairs and stuff because they give up when they get to the point where something's injured. They get stuck right there. They're like, "Oh, my skin's wrinkly, so I might as well not exercise because it's never going to be the same again." Well, oh yeah, you might as well just sit there and become weaker and weaker every day, you know. It's not a very good idea, but you can't really push yourself like you used to either, unless you, um, I mean, I'm not afraid to die, but I don't necessarily want to off myself from stupidity. You do have to pace yourself, so. so good news. The good news is, and I'll share that Dan McKellen's link. Um, he's got the spirit of God in him because anything I'm thinking, it's there. Biblically, it's that connection that God puts for everybody. So if you're in need of some clarification of something, like a lot of people mumble and twist Paul's teachings with what was written about Paul by other people, not his actual words. And that's the confusion in the church. I mean, I used to say, no, he didn't say that. That's bullshit. That's a lie. But people don't listen, but they think, well, she's just a woman, so of course she's going to defend her position in the church. Well, yeah, no, no shit. It's like a mom having to defend herself in the position of a family. Really? Well, that's what this world's doing to women right now. I can't even go in a bathroom and feel secure and safe in there because of these misogynistic, ape wielding men, ape like creatures that did stem from monkeys. I'm certain of it. I'm certain there's two types of people. If you're from a lizard or a monkey, I'm happy for you. Fucking cool. You finally found the roots of your situation. I am so happy for you that you finally evolved to the best of your abilities. Hooray, you know? So I'm going to get this uploaded. No, I'm not an enabler. Don't worry about that. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.